Battle Through the Heavens, Grand World. Chapter 31. Fusion Pill. Medicine Pill. Zhao Qingshan frowned slightly as his thoughts started to stir. Looking at Xiaoyan's fox-like smile, Zhao Qingshan's heart suddenly skipped a beat. After a long while, he hesitated and said, "Little friend, just say it. As a 5th grade Emperor Pill Master, I have no problem with some medicine pills." Then, without waiting for Xiaoyan to speak, he said, "Little friend, do you only have 2 drops of flaming spirit blood?" His voice was clearly filled with doubt and disbelief. Xiaoyan chuckled and shook his head. "Senior Zhao, there were only 2 drops. This junior risked his life to enter the wolf's den. There is actually a child with crimson fire flame wolf in the wolf's den. Junior is not strong enough. He had to put his life on the line and use all his trump cards to kill the little wolf. Furthermore, the temperature in the cave was extremely high. With this junior's strength, he wouldn't be able to stay for long. These 2 drops were obtained by chance. These half-truths and half-truths were extremely logical now. When he recalled the sudden crazy actions of the Crimson Fire Flame Wolf just now, it was really possible that the Crimson Fire Flame Wolf had sensed the appearance of the child after his death. Zhao Qingshan had no choice but to believe it. "What you said makes some sense. Fine, 2 drops it is. Tell me, what medicine pill do you want? If these 2 drops of fire spirit blood were to be auctioned in the auction house, how much would it be worth?" Xiaoyan stared into Zhao Qingshan's eyes and suddenly asked an irrelevant question. Zhao Qingshan was startled for a moment, then his eyes lit up and said, "If they were to be auctioned in the auction house, 1 drop should be around 100,000 monarch crystals. If it is used to exchange for medicine pills, it should be able to exchange for 1 low 4th grade medicine pill." Low 4th grade. Xiaoyan saw the fleeting light in Zhao Qingshan's eyes. He made a small fuss in his heart, and then pretended to be unwilling. Zhao Qingshan saw his expression and also pretended to say, "Although the fiery spiritual blood is a heavenly materials and earthly treasure that can only be condensed by a drop of monarch emperor level heavenly beast in 100 years. It can only be used to refine some special tier 5 emperor pills. Each set requires 3 drops, but you only have 2 drops. Therefore, its value is greatly reduced. If there were 3 drops, then, you can definitely exchange it for a high-grade 4th grade medicine pill or even a low-grade 5th grade medicine pill." Xiaoyan nodded after hearing this, but he still sighed and said, "Senior's words make sense. But this junior only has 2 drops." Zhao Qingshan's eyes widened. Initially, he wanted to trick this brat. He didn't expect this kid to have such a tough mouth. He had been in the Crimson Fire Flame Wolf's cave for such a long time. How could he possibly believe that he had only gotten 2 drops of fiery spirit blood? "Little friend, do you want to exchange the fire spirit blood for the monarch crystal?" "If you are willing, little friend. I am willing to exchange it for 1 drop of fiery spirit blood for 150,000 monarch crystals." Zhao Qingshan put the fire pillar into the storage ring and said with a smile. Xiaoyan only smiled when he heard this. Although the monarch crystal was also one of the requirements of the holy rank trial, his current strength was still too weak. Secondly, he didn't know how long it would take for him to leave this vast forest domain. Therefore, he didn't really need the monarch crystal. On the contrary, his current strength was what he desperately needed to improve. "The monarch crystal is currently useless to me. I would like to exchange a drop of fiery spirit blood for an elementary 4th grade fusion pill." Xiaoyan looked at Zhao Qingshan and said with a bright smile. He had already reached the early 9 stars fighting monarch, and now he was about to break through to the sovereign realm. However, it was not easy to advance to the sovereign realm. The possibility of failure was extremely high. The fusion pill, as a low 4th grade medicine pill, was something that those who were about to advance to the sovereign realm could only dream of. Ordinary fighting monarchs would encounter the first bottleneck in their lives after advancing to the peak of the 9 stars realm. Only by breaking through the bottleneck would they be able to continue pursuing the strength of the boundless realm. However, some of the fighting monarchs were obstructed for a long time at this step, causing them to miss out on the best time to cultivate. In the future, the growth of their strength would be extremely slow, and they would eventually become mediocre for the rest of their lives. This was because the most important step for a 9-star Dodi to advance into an Emperor Warrior was to gather the scattered and floating Origin Monarch Key within his body and condense them into a chain-like Origin Monarch Key. Once the Origin Monarch key was successfully condensed, he would be able to advance into an Emperor Warrior. A D-Shi and a Peak 9-star Fighting Monarch. Although the Origin Monarch key within one's body was almost the same, the difference in strength was very great. A single D-Shi was enough to easily defeat 3 to 4 Peak 9-star Fighting Monarches. This was because a D-Key chain formed by a D-Shi was like a soldier that had received elite training. The Origin Monarch key within the Fighting Monarch was at most some scattered soldiers. The difference between the two could be seen with a single glance, but there was a huge risk of becoming a sovereign. A slight carelessness could lead to failure. If the failure was light, the Origin Monarch key in the Fighting Monarch would disappear completely. If he recuperated for a few months and attacked again, the Origin Monarch crystal would be seriously injured. From then on, he would not be able to cultivate. Xiao Yan couldn't bear these two consequences. He was walking in the dangerous forest domain, and it was too late for him to increase his strength. How could he possibly do something that could cause his strength to be greatly reduced? Because of various reasons, the possibility of Fighting Monarch of lower realm becoming a sovereign was much higher than that of the original residents. Xiao Yan was even confident that he could reach 70 to 80% with his foundation. However, the remaining 20 to 30% chance of failure was always around Xiao Yan. What he needed was a 100% chance of success. He could not afford to make any mistakes when he became a sovereign. This was also the problem that Xiao Yan had been thinking about this day. Zhao Qingshan's appearance just happened to solve his urgent need. Fusion pill. Zhao Qingshan nodded. Just as he was about to speak, he suddenly saw the playful expression on Xiao Yan's face. He was startled at first, then his expression instantly darkened. No wonder he felt that he was being led away by the former earlier. It turned out that he was actually being led away by the former. This fellow's original intention was not the information of the fusion pill, but the fusion pill. When he first saw Xiao Yan, he could clearly sense Xiao Yan's strength. He was very close to breaking through to the sovereign warrior realm. Therefore, he had vaguely guessed that the latter might need some help in breaking through to the sovereign warrior realm. He had originally planned to use 2 drops. He even exchanged 3 drops of fire spirit blood with Xiao Yan, but Xiao Yan used 1 drop of fire spirit blood to exchange for information on how to concoct pills. This made Zhao Qingshan very excited. Without saying another word, he exchanged with Xiao Yan. He knew that Xiao Yan wanted to see the grade of the fusion pill, and then asked about the value of 1 drop of fire spirit blood. He thought that Xiao Yan was going to exchange for another monarch crystal, so he pressed the price to around 100,000. He didn't say anything about the value of the medicine pill, but gave a very reasonable price. He didn't expect that this little fellow would directly exchange a drop of fire spirit blood for a fusion pill. Now, he had already said what he wanted to say. He couldn't just casually increase the price. Little Baldy, you have such a deep mind. Zhao Qingshan mumbled with a dark face. This time, even if he wanted to cheat, he wouldn't be able to. He had lived for hundreds of years. He had been tricked by this brat once. When he thought of this, killing intent appeared in Zhao Qingshan's eyes, but it only lasted for a moment before disappearing. He let out a light sigh and thought to himself, although I didn't gain much from it. However, it was his own fortune to exchange the information of the fusion pill for the blood. Moreover, it wasn't a loss for him to exchange a drop of the blood for the fusion pill. However, no matter what, he had to make the little Baldy pay the price for making fun of him. Zhao Qingshan looked at Xiao Yan and revealed a cold smile that no one noticed. You want the polymerized bomb, right? Then I'll give it to you. However, the energy contained in this fusion pill was extremely powerful. If he could survive. However, there is only a 20% success rate. Would you be lucky enough to encounter it? If you fail, hee. Not even a corpse was left. With this thought in mind, Zhao Qingshan smiled and said, Sigh, I'm really old now. Since you have already calculated everything, it seems like I can't go back on my word. Hee, I'll give you a list. After saying that, he stroked the storage ring with his finger. A medicine pill with a faint glow instantly stopped in front of Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan grabbed it and looked at the fusion pill that was lying quietly in his hand. This was the first time he had seen a medicine pill in a great world. The medicine pill contained a faint light. It was the size of a longan and felt extremely smooth to the touch. There was a faint fragrance coming from it, causing the origin monarch key in Xiaoyan's body to churn. Compared to the fusion pill image in his mind, it was really no different from a fusion pill. Xiaoyan calmed his heart and quietly sighed. At the same time, his hand that was holding the fusion pill trembled slightly. A flame that no one noticed quietly wrapped around the fusion pill and purified the impurities on it. This was related to his advancement to the sovereign warrior realm, so Xiaoyan did not dare to be careless. His finger touched the storage ring, and a red light flashed. A fire pillar appeared in Xiaoyan's hand and thanked Zhao Qingshan. Xiaoyan pushed the pillar of fire towards the latter. Zhao Qingshan waved his sleeve and kept the pillar of fire into his storage ring. He chuckled and said, "Since the deal is a success, I won't stay any longer. Little friend, we will part ways here. We shall meet again if fate permits." Zhao Qingshan let out a hearty laugh and stomped his feet on the ground. His body soared into the sky, and after he flew into the air, he quickly flew to the west and soon disappeared. After Zhao Qingshan left, Xiaoyan also entered the woods beside him. This place was no longer as lively as before, it became quiet again. Running on the small road, Xiaoyan was still excited about what happened 3 days ago. With the fusion pill, the success rate of breaking through to the sovereign realm was 100%. I need to reach the peak of the 9 stars in a short period of time. After becoming a sovereign, the true journey of the great world. This can be considered the true beginning. Xiaoyan sat on a huge tree, passing through the dense branches and leaves. He looked at the setting sun, which was slowly setting in the horizon. The setting sun was like blood. The surrounding scenery was illuminated by the red sun and the myriad of sunset clouds. In the distance, the occasional roar of a beast that resounded through the heavens and the earth resounded. It was a sign that there was still a fatal danger beneath this peaceful scene. Chapter end.